right, let's get started on that radar picture on our Monday morning. It's quite active, and I think we're going to see something like this pretty much all day. At times, showers in spots. At other times, not so many. But this looks like it's on a repeat cycle, and I think that means we're going to have ample opportunity to get wet several times over the next day or two at least. Here's where we're seeing some of the showers right now. Midway, getting a decent little downpour. I-10 west of Tallahassee over towards Gadsden County. That's one of the spots, and a lot of these are moving from south and west to north and east. So that means much of the south side of Tallahassee that's getting wet now, those showers are going to spread north of I-10 in the next little while. Let's slide a little further south into Wakulla and down Highway 319. Now we've got a bunch of little pockets of showers and storms all the way down past Shell Point and Panacea with a little bit of thunder and lightning out there too. So some of the downpours can be a little bit heavy. Other spots maybe just a little bit further to the north and to the west, a little bit lighter. But I think we're going to notice more showers in more places that extend all the way back around the hook past Apalachicola and Cape San Blas, and then you get south of Mexico Beach. There's quite a bit of lightning out there, and a lot of these are moving from south and west to north and east. South Georgia into parts of Alabama, we've got some showers way up Highway 84 and up Highway 27. So there's little pockets of rain here, also moving from south and west to north and east. So places like Colquitt and Blakely, we're going to get some showers shortly. Shady Grove's getting a couple of sprinkles. Asheville, a couple of sprinkles, maybe not as significant as some of the rains to the west, but there's more south and west moving north and east, and it's going to be a very active looking radar and satellite picture, I think, for today and for tomorrow. So we got to count on getting wet often and enjoy those breaks. If you got stuff that you're trying to do outdoors, you'll have your pockets and periods to do it, but I think we got to count on getting wet a lot more than staying dry, and plus it's going to be really, really muggy from start to finish. In Thomasville, we're at 73 this morning. In Valdosta, we're at 74. In Tallahassee, we're at 75. Got those dew point temperatures at 73 and 75, which means the air is pretty much saturated, chock full of it, and you're going to feel it. Your glasses are going to fog up the minute you step outside. Marianna and Quincy, some of the warmer spots at 77 until we get to Alligator Point, where it's 78, or Apalachicola, where it's 83. Most of us are in that 73 to 77 range this morning. And while it's not breezy, the air is not still. So we're seeing a little bit of movement out there, mostly from the south, but kind of variable in that 3 to 8 mile per hour range. A couple of spots with some reduced visibilities, not necessarily fog, more some of that rain coming down, making it a little hard to see out there. So be careful on the morning commutes. A lot of buses on roads this morning that we haven't had for a couple of months. So you got to be extra cautious out there, especially in those school zones and near those bus stops. Now, the Futurecast is going to keep things really active at times today. I think on and off all morning, all afternoon, all evening. This is not one of those you get some rain and then they're all done in the afternoon, we're finished. This is one of those setups where we have so much available moisture, that old boundary stuck just to our north, and we're kind of trapped in this air mass. So as any little bit of energy gets going, and there's plenty of those, we're going to continue to generate more opportunities for showers. I think that's for today, that's for tomorrow, and then it starts to wane a little bit as we get into Wednesday. But even Wednesday, I think some scattered showers are still going to be part of the deal. Maybe we start drying out a little bit better towards the end of the week. Let's talk tropics. Now, I'm sure we're going to hear about a bunch of things going on out there. Nothing jumps off the page. Out here off the coast of Africa is probably the most interesting piece of energy. I use the word interesting because we got to see how it develops. But this one's got the most promise, and it's a million miles from nowhere. But we'll watch and we'll see how that makes its trek across the Atlantic over the next week or two. The red circle is our most recent named tropical system. That's Dexter. More on that one in a minute. We've got this little area here off the east coast where we've got some disturbed weather. We've got that old boundary. We've got those showers and storms, and we've seen that a couple of times already this season. So maybe some of that starts to drift back towards the U.S. Maybe some of that starts to acquire some tropical characteristics. So we've got things we'll be keeping our eyes on. Dexter is a tropical storm, winds at 45 miles per hour. It's one of those best case scenario tropical storms. It's moving away from all land up towards some of those cooler waters of the North Atlantic, where it's likely never going to impact anybody, but it's there, it's classified, we're calling it Dexter. We'll certainly keep our eyes on it. No concerns for anyone with that one. Now, those other two pieces of energy, or at least disturbances, we've got a 30% chance for some sort of development near the East Coast. So that one is the immediate one, but it doesn't look like as much as what's possible with that one way out across the Atlantic that is going to need plenty of time to develop. And that one more than likely stays out in the middle of the Atlantic, but it's just in the infantile stages, so there's going to be a lot of time to watch and see what happens with it. So the bottom line here is we're into August. The business usually does start picking up in the tropics. and it certainly has. So we'll keep our eyes on it all for you. On the Gulf today, winds out of the south and southwest, 8 to 18, seas 2 to 4 feet. We'll put a light to moderate chop in the protected waters. I've got the rain chances around 70%. Doesn't mean it rains 70% of the time. It means during that time period, wherever you're standing, there's a 7 in 10 chance that you're going to get wet. And I think it's going to happen that way all day today. So we're going to keep the rain chances at 70% this morning, this afternoon, and tonight. And we're going to do it again tomorrow, too. I don't see any change with the forecast over the next 48 hours. The warm spots get to the mid-80s. I don't think we're going to have that many warm spots, but we'll see how maybe some of those breaks in the showers help allow those temperatures to perk up. It is going to be super muggy out there from start to finish. So expect lots of moist and lots of muggy. There's that forecast that gets us through most of the week. We start to take those rain chances down by Wednesday, Thursday, at least a little bit. I'm hoping we dry out a little bit better. After a couple of days of soggy, I think we'll be okay with a little bit of hot and sunny if it gets that way, but we've got a few days before we get there. Notice how those temperatures do start to increase once the rain chances start coming down, but that doesn't start until Wednesday.